Now in this particular slide, we are going to touch the base about the brief job description of the marine HVAC design engineer. Now you must be very excited by listening to this basics that what a marine HVAC design engineer has to do in his day-to-day life or day-to-day work. So just to begin with, I just wish to cover this one by one. It should excel in review, preparation, checking, approving of the deliverable list, design basis, HVAC heat load calculation, P&IDs, D&IDs, duct layout, piping layout, data sheets, control philosophies. RFQ is nothing but request for quotations. MTO is nothing but material takeoff, or in normal terms it is called as a BOQ. Then the vendor document review, technical bid evaluation, PEP is nothing but a project execution plan, HVAC deliverables, and so on. Since it's a basic, again I'm repeating, I'm covering all these aspects on the first point in a detailed way in subsequent lectures. But just imagine how much responsibility the marine HVAC design engineer has to have on his shoulder. The next point goes is coordination with other disciplines lead engineers. As in the offshore or marine sector, apart from HVAC discipline, there are various other disciplines which HVAC engineer has to deal with. Because HVAC needs a power, HVAC again needs a space, HVAC needs a safety requirement, HVAC has a lot to do with process department, HVAC has a lot to do with safety department. So all these disciplines are very important for HVAC, and for them also HVAC department is equally important, because without our input they cannot plan their services also. And HVAC is being a main energy guzzler, electrical also run behind us, and HVAC being the major space guzzler, the structural also has to run behind us, because we have the weight also, plus we have the space requirement also. So coordination with other discipline engineers plays a very important role over here. Point 3 is the HVAC design engineer has to be proficient in man-hour estimation, creating comprehensive designs, plans, layouts, working drawings, construction details to ensure the execution of projects are well within the time and budgeted parameters. This means that when any work comes to the HVAC design engineer, he should know that how much manpower he has to utilize, so man hours he needs to estimate properly. And again, the drawings or the quality of the work which he has committed has to be again at par with the requirement of the client and the consultant. At the same time, it should fit well within the budget so that company should do a profitable business. Next point what we need to cover is carry out the detailed engineering and design activities for HVAC system in line with the client requirement. It means that a detailed engineering is up to the nut bolt level, also is expected by some of the client. So you should be able to do that to meet the client requirement. Next is having very good knowledge of the various HVAC equipment used in the projects, selection of the equipment like chillers, condenser units, pumps, AHUs, chemical filters, fans, then ducting, piping layout design, etc. It means that a person should have an overall knowledge of a various HVAC equipment used in a project. That means he should be able to select the equipment based on the project conditions, and he should be well versed with the catalogs of the various equipment manufacturers, and pinpoint selection of the model. He should be able to do it based on the heat load what is calculated and the subsequent project conditions. I would be touching the base on this point in subsequent sessions as well. Then next point comes in the participation in various review meetings. Well, as an engineer, he has to participate in various review meetings also. The review meeting takes place based on the frequency which client decide. and he has to review the 3D model, and he needs to check whether the AHU room is provided is sufficient or not. Is it clashing with any other discipline? So these are the jobs which he needs to be very well aware of it. Again, attending the kickoff meeting, pre-bid queries he needs to solve, pre and post order technical review he needs to conduct with client and vendor. Being an engineer, of course, you know what I'm trying to say. Again, knowledge of E&I control philosophy, fire and gas shutdown philosophy, HSE, that is health, safety, hazard and environment philosophy, E&I design philosophy. HVAC engineer cannot restrict himself only to the HVAC. He need to grow beyond it. I need to learn the HVAC, electrical also, instrumentation also. So that plays very important role for him as a professional to grow. So these are some of the basic JDs of marine HVAC.